Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic Con. If you go to denvercomiccon.com, you can buy tickets right now to 2013 Denver Comic Con. With me always is
Brad
and
James.
I'm Ryan, and we have a special guest today. Introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan. And how do you know this podcast person?
I know James via work. I'm a friend of James.
Yeah, Dan's good people.
Of James's.
And he came saw the movie with us and is hanging out.
He did. Hey, Dan, what movie did we see this week?
We saw Hansel and Gretel Vampire Diaries. What the fuck was it?
Witch Hunters.
Witch Hunters, that's
it
right.
has like 3 title cards, so it's hard
It
to
does.
It really
does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It does.
I like at one point it came up in the newspaper like Hansel and Gretel. I was like, oh, there's the title card. That's cool. They got it in there. And then later it was like, no, this is the motherfucking title card.
Well, first remember they started as Hansel and Gretel. But the title card went through their origin, and at the end of their origin, they became witch hunters. Dude, come on.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, I got you.
Hey, guess what? If you've never listened to Real Nerds Podcast, thanks for downloading us. Just so you know. Or streaming on Stitcher Radio. We go see a new movie every week. We talk about that movie. But that's not all we do. Brad, what else do we do?
Well, we usually start off the show by reading all the mail that we got for the week.
But because we got so much hate mail last week, we didn't get any mail this week because of James. And then, James, we also do a comic book. You have a comic book for me this week?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Love it. Also, we talk about what we've been watching. Is that what you said? No, you talked about fan mail.
Yeah.
Also, what we've been watching.
I was trying to go in order, but yeah, you can jump around like that.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
How about those DVD releases we do?
Yeah, we
talked about that.
Yeah.
And what was big last week at the box office?
Yeah, and the box office numbers.
And we just sneak in a little, cuddle up with some news.
And how clever I am, I call it Real News, REEL.
Which
Remember movie reels, guys?
Yeah, it's like the show. Yeah, remember that dude who was mad at us as if we didn't know what a movie reel was?
Yeah,
man.
And he ate our candy.
Yeah,
right.
That was the thing that made us the most.
Right,
fucking asshole comes takes our candy and tells us.
But you know
stupid.
what? We'll have more candy and more things for you to do this year at Denver Comic Con 2013. Go to denvercomiccon.com to buy your tickets.
We're gonna have some awesome prizes. I have shit lined up, man.
We are. So it should be fun.
Like limited edition issues of stuff. Seriously,
Hey, James, what's our Twitter account so people can tweet us?
It's real_nerds, and the underscore is important because there's some other guys
named Real Nerds. And we also have an email address, realnerds@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Call us, 720-6nerds5. You can like us on Facebook. I just got an email congratulations from Facebook by reaching 100 likes.
Oh, good.
So
cool.
It has actually a coupon, James, that I'll talk to you about later.
Oh, cool.
About advertising.
Ooh, Facebook coupons. Oh, man, that's my favorite.
Since you've already done it, then maybe you have a better idea of how to use it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. Thanks for listening.
And all of those ways you can get in touch with us, we just got a big old batch of stickers in the mail. If you want some stickers, send us a message somewhere private where not everyone will see your address, and we'll send you however many you need, and just be reasonable.
Free of charge.
Stick them out there somewhere. Don't put them in the back of a drawer.
Free of charge.
Do us a favor.
Free of charge.
Absolutely.
Because you're helping us promote our podcast. So thanks.
And it'll happen quick. I already mailed some today. So
let's start the show, boys.
Fan mail.
Not very much fan mail this week.
No, just a couple things.
A couple things. One of the coolest things is the Telluride Horror Show gave us a shout out to. Do you have Twitter up by any chance, James?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Awesome, because I'd forget the director's name of the best worst movie and the American Scream. But he tweeted, "Is there any good podcasts?" And Telluride Horror Show tweeted us and said, "We're a great podcast."
Sweet.
So that was awesome. Telluride Horror Show.
Telluride.
What is the computer? A lot of colors. You can't understand it, James. What's going on there?
Oh no, there's just yeah. I'm confused by computers. I look at them and I don't know. Oh, here we go. Oh, well, here's the problem. He's just at best worst movie on. There we go. Michael Stevenson.
So yeah, hopefully Michael Stevenson listened to our podcast. And I also gave a shout out to Scott Derrickson, who directed Sinister, who was in my top 10 movies. And I said, "Hey Scott, thanks for just so you know, Sinister is in my top 10 movies of the year." And he said, "Thanks, that's awesome."
No, he said sweet.
Yes,
which is
actually he said fantastic, James.
Whatever. I'm just saying he didn't say thanks with all that indignation that you put on it. Yeah. It was cool.
I was doing the thanks, did cool dude, awesome story.
But he interpreted it as, oh yeah, thanks. No name podcast.
Yeah,
hey, we have a name.
Really give me a great shout out there.
Thanks. No, but he's really cool. He followed us, and that he responded to my tweet was terrific.
No. Oh, God. Edit that out of the show. Oh,
No,
my
do
God.
not edit that out of the show. That was brilliant.
Oh, my God. Oh.
One day you'll appreciate my brilliance.
Oh, shit.
Appreciate it, James. Appreciate
Not
it.
the only tweet we got.
It's not the only tweet we got. We got one more.
Yeah. Matty O'Connor tweeted us and said, thanks for the review of Guns, Drugs, and Synergy. I call it a mexploitation film. Keep up the awesome show. Thank you.
And Brad, you saw
thanks,
that
Brad.
at the Emerging Filmmakers
Project. Yep.
Yeah, where was that held at? Was that the Bug Theater?
The Bug Theater. Yep.
That's cool.
Every third Thursday
Nice.
of the month.
Yeah,
And
they
you
do
can
some
check
cool
out,
stuff.
there's a link on our Twitter page. You can check out the trailer. And, it's always cool to see filmmakers trying to make their mark. And according to Brad, this guy did. So
Yeah, the trailer doesn't highlight a lot of the comedy aspects. It highlights more of the action, but trust me, it's funny.
Cool.
very
Yeah.
cool. So, yeah, slow mail week.
Yeah.
Maybe everybody's like, you know what? January sucks for movies anyways.
That's
we don't
okay.
even pay
That's
attention
okay.
to them.
Did you get any mail?
No.
He got some bills, and his W-2 came in the mail, but yeah.
Nothing
I got all those
exciting.
You could read us
bills,
all
yeah.
those numbers. That would be great.
And
Anyone say
it's
hi
like
to you on
681.
Cool.
So, again, you can email us, realnerds@gmail.com. You can tweet us, real_nerds. Leave a message on our Facebook page. We will always respond and read it, unless there's a day comes when we have thousands of them, and we'll pick.
And then we'll just start a different podcast where we just read mail.
It'll just be our
No
fan
one
mail
will listen to
podcast.
that show.
The Real Nerds Mail Podcast.
Yeah.
2 hours
Do you
of
remember
mail.
those days when I used to beg people to send us their spam and shit like that, just forward us their spam? That day is gone. I don't beg for that. Actually, you could still do that. That would.
There's
be
a time when you used to. There was a time when you used to invite people to go to a movie with me, and it got no responses.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
Hey,
We did
if
do
you
that.
want to go see whatever the fuck that movie was, like Phantom of the Opera or something, with Brad, just let me know.
You know what?
Pay your ticket,
that
and
is a
everyone declined.
That is a standing offer always.
Yeah, at any point, if you ever want to go see a movie with Brad, I will pay for your ticket to see a movie
Yeah,
with Brad.
so call us at 720-6nerds5 and leave your name, number, and description, what you look like, and Brad will take you out on town.
Oh, no.
Too far.
Oh. Yeah.
So thanks again. Man, right away into stuff we've been watching.
Yeah.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Well, it's a good thing because I watched a shitload. I went to a couple local places around here that have where you trade in your old crap and get new crap.
Yeah. Like
And-
Second Spin, where I went a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Second Spin. I went to there, and I also went to a place called Tradesmart. So, I've been try to watch every Robert Downey Jr. movie. I'm really close. I've seen 33, and he's in 39 movies.
Wow.
So I'm really close. So I got a few of those, and I got a bunch of other movies. So I'll talk about some of them really quick. The first movie I watched this week was called Two Girls and a Guy. That stars Robert Downey Jr., Heather Graham, and this other girl.
Is it like a porn?
You know what?
When he was really on heroin and just needed a lot of cash?
Probably. But I think the director of this movie, he's the director and writer, is more in love with Robert Downey than I am.
Oh, wow.
Because the movie is literally 3 characters that are stuck in this apartment. The premise is he's an actor, and this one, Heather Graham, is waiting for her boyfriend outside his apartment to come back. And I forget this other girl's name. She's not a very good actress, so she's waiting for him to come back as well, and they don't realize they're talking about the same guy. So then they find out they're talking about the same guy. They break into his apartment, wait for him to come home. And here's a really eerie part. So obviously the person who was researching the movie, the writer, was researching flights that he would be taking back from Los Angeles to New York. He took American Flight 11, which is one of the most popular flights from New York to L.A. and back, and that was one of the planes that crashed in the Trade Center.
Wow.
So it's a little, I'm like, because she said, "Oh yeah, he's flying American 11." I'm like, I've heard that fucking before.
Oh, man.
So that's kind of crazy. But anyways, the movie is literally
that would have made for a very dark film.
yeah. So it's Robert Downey Jr. acts in it, obviously, sings, dances, does a Shakespeare monologue.
What?
It's literally just showcasing his amazing ability to act, and he's really good in it. The rest of the movie is meh.
What? How do they get excuses for him to dance and sing?
Because he comes home and the girls are hiding from him because they don't want him to know that they're in his apartment.
Yeah.
And he comes home and he leaves a message for his mom first. Then he leaves a message for the one girl talking about how he just wants to fuck her. Then he leaves a message for another girl how he just wants to see her. And then he goes over to the piano and starts playing his song. Oh, yeah, he plays piano. Playing her song and singing. And then he looks at himself in the mirror and starts singing. And but there's some really funny bits in it. There's a part where the one girl picks up Heather Graham's picture and she's looking at it. Then she pulls a picture and her picture's behind it. So whoever's seeing him, he moves their picture back and forth. It's if you like Robert Downey Jr. like I do, it's enjoyable enough. But the rest of it's okay because I never thought Heather Graham was that great of an actress.
Yeah.
And the other girl is not that good either. But Robert Downey Jr. is amazing in it because, he's like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to sing and dance now. Yeah.
Apparently, it has an uncut NC-17 out there.
Well, there is a pretty provocative blowjob scene in it.
Oh, wow.
And then he eats her asshole at one point. But there's
What is this movie?
but there is no
What?
But there is no nudity. So
How do you eat someone's asshole without them being naked?
he lifts up her skirt and just dives right in,
Oh,
sir.
All right.
Yeah, so that's two girls and a guy. I also saw for the first time Home for the Holidays, which also stars Robert.
Yeah.
He's kind of actually a co-star in it. He plays Holly Hunter's gay brother, and there's some really funny bits in this movie. It's directed by Jodie Foster, and fucking Brad. It's about a dysfunctional family, and there's really some funny bits in it. It's more of like a drama mixed with the comedy.
Yeah.
Stephen Guttenberg's in it.
Steve Guttenberg?
Yeah, but he's only in it for, 10 minutes,
Oh, wow.
and then he goes away. Robert Downey Jr. is really good in it, too, so is Holly Hunter. I mean, they kind of steal the movie.
Huh.
And so the whole movie's actually buoyed by their great performances. And Charles Dunning, I think's the name of the father, and
Yeah.
he just recently passed away, but he was really, really good in it. So
It's actually just Charles Durning.
Durning.
Yeah.
Charles Dunning, I think's the black actor who was in a sitcom.
It sounds familiar.
Fudge. Yeah, I can't remember.
If you hadn't immediately then said that he was dead, I would have let it go. But then I was like, well, we can't misquote a dude's name. Who's
Yeah.
now dead. That's unfair.
But he's a really big character actor,
Cool.
and he was in lots of movies. And the actors are really great in the movie. The movie's pretty good. So, yeah, you should check that one out. It's basically just about a dysfunctional family.
Is it one that you'll watch every Christmas now?
It's more of a Thanksgiving movie.
Really?
So, yeah, it's a Thanksgiving movie.
Wow, there's not a lot of those. It's like trains,
No.
planes, and automobiles, and that's it.
And one of the reasons when I went with our friend Joe, and he says he watches it every Thanksgiving.
Wow.
And watching it, I said, yeah, it's a pretty funny movie. I could watch it. It's one of those movies you have to kind of watch again to get all the little quick jokes in it. Then a movie that I haven't seen in forever and is pretty badass is Reign of Fire.
Oh, hell yes.
I think it came out in 2001.
Is that the dragon movie?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
the movie where
With
Matthew
Christian Bale
McConaughey
and
fights
Matthew
dragon.
McConaughey. And what's cool about it is it's a post-apocalyptic world brought on by dragons.
Yes.
And I forgot about how cheesy the opening is, but after you get past the opening, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I guess.
Like
it's
with the
kinda
kid
cheesy.
and the
Yeah.
and his mom dies. The dragon scrapes his mom's face. I don't know. And but for 2001, the dragon is pretty fucking awesome. Like
Yeah,
the
it is.
CGI in it is
The way it
pretty-
moves, the design, and like the
Yeah.
sounds of it, it's really cool.
because there's I just forgot so much about the movie. The part where they jump out of the helicopter and are trying to capture that dragon
Yes.
is badass.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Ah.
So-
and it's Christian Bale before he sort of blew up with the Batman movies.
He's still really good in
and
it.
he's great. It's maybe my favorite Matthew McConaughey movie.
Oh, it has
which,
to be.
I mean, how many? that list has like 5 movies on it.
Well, Frailty.
Yeah,
Contact.
Frailty. I really love Sahara. Contact.
Contact.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster again.
Yeah. He's got a movie out actually that was at Sundance this week called Mud that is maybe the most interesting movie coming out of Sundance for me. Like the trailer looks great. But yeah, I love
So
Reign
the
of Fire.
movie's cool though, and they even as being a kid again, they say, "Oh man, there's a really big dragon that just is so evil," and he's perched on top of the castle, and he's just the whole time, he's, "Oh, this is so fucking cool."
Yeah.
And you wish the movie caught on a little more because
I every complaint I have ever heard about it has to do with the whole there's only one male dragon plot point, and I think that's really a kind of cool. It's a cool
It is,
plot idea, like a good way for for you to plausibly have humans finally kill all of the dragons.
exactly.
you know?
And the scene where they go into London is so cool.
Yeah.
where all the dragons fly because they're so terrified of this giant dragon, and
Yeah. And all those scenes, like when the dragon is hunting them there at the end, and it's like walking around. Oh man, it's awesome.
And when Matthew McConaughey tries to kill it with an axe and gets eaten,
Yeah,
that's great. Spoilers.
Seriously, if you've not seen Reign of Fire, check that movie out because it is great.
And it has to be one of the very first Blu-rays too, because it was sweet. I turned it on. You know how all Blu-rays load, but it had a sweet like screensaver of the dragon torching like London, and it says just so you know, this movie is loading. And
what?
Yeah. It didn't say just so you know. It just says the movie's loading. But
in the future, movies load.
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
Check out Reign of Fire and the Blu-ray. It looks really good.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's badass.
Yeah. You're making me want to see Reign of Fire. So
yeah.
I'm gonna buy Reign of Fire.
Guess how much I paid for Reign of Fire on Blu-ray?
$1.
$1.
Oh, I hate you. Oh man,
it was sweet. And then I also saw a movie that you guys told me to see last year.
And Gerard Butler's in that movie too. Sorry.
He is. I saw Safety Not Guaranteed.
Nice.
Oh,
which
very cool.
was really funny and bizarre, but really good.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's another one of those movies I have to watch again because I forget what's the name of the writer.
Oh, not
Jake
Mark
Johnson.
Duplass.
Is it Jake Johnson? Is that his name?
No,
I think
he's an actor in it. I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
if
what
he
I
wrote
mean.
it though.
I think it's Jake Johnson is the writer in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Johansson.
Johansson.
Yeah.
I was like Derek Connolly wrote the movie. I don't know. Why
that movie has so many throwaway lines that you said, did they really just say that, or what was happening? My favorite is he takes the assignment because he wants to meet up with his ex-girlfriend, and Aubrey Plaza sits down and she says, that's kind of sad. I won't want my ex-boyfriend looking me up. And he says, yeah, I won't want to look you up either. That's sad. And he's just talking about how pathetic she is.
Yeah.
And her scene with her father is so funny. She says, well, I mean, I know you're a virgin. Whatever, Dad. How do you know what I do at night? You're at home on your computer. You don't have any social skills. It's a really funny movie. And it takes turns that you don't expect it to take.
Yeah.
And just, it's funny, but it's also kind of serious, and then I don't want to spoil the movie if you haven't seen it, but
How'd you feel about the end?
Oh yeah,
the end I thought was actually kind of, I liked it. I liked how it left you.
Yeah,
because I think it leaves it lots of open for interpretation of what happens. And then Kristen Bell showed up with her beautiful eyes, and it's because you think that maybe he did go back and save her. I don't know, it leaves it totally wide open, and how they end it is, I think it's obviously on purpose how they do it.
Yeah.
Because, is he crazy, or did he really save her? And did he really just run into her house and cause a dent because he did save her? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think for Brad and I, the contention there was just whether or not, I don't want to talk about necessarily what happens, but I think one of us wasn't entirely convinced that the machine was going to work, and one of us was, and so when the end happens, we had different opinions of oh, that wasn't what I expected.
Stylistically, the whole movie is this very isolated, character-driven movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then suddenly there's a big special effects extravaganza at the end.
Yeah,
so just seems a little out of place.
Did you not like the ending?
I did not like it, but I thought it was bizarre. Yeah. I didn't think it would go there. So.
Yeah, but I see, again, that's where I think movies sometimes succeed or a movie fails. Seeking a Friend for the End of the Earth, I thought it didn't handle it well, but I think this Safety Not Guaranteed, I liked it. And I think it's because I love the characters in it, and there's so many little hints that, his ear falling off.
Yeah.
You kind of think, is he an
alien
about
that part all the time.
Or something like that? And there's a great scene where, he says, I don't know, we could be being followed. And then, they play that up for 40 minutes in the movie, and then they go there, and she says, holy fuck, he's being followed. She's absolutely shocked that he's actually being followed. And I think what makes the movie succeed so well is not only is it funny and heartwarming, because, the scene where they're on the beach is so awesome. Is, the actors, and you want them to succeed. You don't want him to be crazy.
Yeah.
But the film succeeds because they leave it where maybe he is crazy. And I think it's really well done.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it.
I'm going to have to watch it again now. Now that you've talked about it so much, I'm like, oh, man. I don't remember enough of it.
Where do you think it would have been in your rankings if you had saw it?
It definitely, I think it'd be in the top 20 for sure.
Cool.
Just because, again, if everyone's listened to this podcast, they know I'm not the biggest fan of independent kind of movies, but I think if they pull them off like that, where they're funny and have their own unique voice, I love them.
It's sort of a tonal issue.
Exactly.
It's that sort of, not pretentious, but where they're
that's
sort
what
of,
I mean.
it is. There are these independent films that are,
and that's what I mean when
trying
I say independent. I'm using
Yeah.
quotes. Is they try so hard to have that tone, and where movies like this, where it doesn't have a lot of money and it's driven by the characters in the movie, I think is where movies like that totally succeed. And having the actors that they had in it help it. The getting the Indian guy to have sex was really funny.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
And sort of independent as a genre, not independent as an economic status.
Exactly. And the two different stories as they branch out is really interesting between I don't know. I forget the name of the magazine writer when he takes the two interns and he says, "Oh, I like this guy who has safety not guaranteed the ad," and he says, "Oh, I fucked Liz." And then she says, "What did she tell you to do with a lot of things? Did she
order you around a lot?
Did you order around?"
Yeah.
Only a little.
It's really bossy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I watched this week.
Cool.
I had a lot of fun watching stuff. I have a lot more stuff to watch. I got War of the Worlds on Blu-ray. I'm really excited to watch that again.
Oh yeah, the Steven Spielberg movie.
Yes.
Yeah, not the old one.
Not the old one.
It's a good one.
Dan, what have you been watching this week?
Well, this week, as in like the last month or so, is what I'm going to do. I saw Taken finally.
Nice.
Oh.
I had not seen Taken. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
And then you told me, "Oh, you saw Taken, so you don't have to see Taken 2," because you've now seen Taken 2.
Yeah. No, it's true.
But it was really good. People have been telling me for a while I need to see Taken, and that movie is basically 24, the movie starring Liam Neeson as Jack Bauer, because he will do anything he needs to get the job done.
It's got some of that for sure.
And,
And save his daughter. Yeah.
yeah,
See that?
Yeah.
And it
I
was
mean,
just-
he's not a spot. Well, he's not like a. He doesn't have the
CTU.
government behind him,
right.
But yeah, I see it. Yeah.
My favorite part of and this is such a stupid thing. My favorite part of the whole movie is when it's like 2/3 of the way through, Liam Neeson shows up at that guy's house with the guy's wife.
Oh, when he's having dinner with his wife.
But then the guy is coming home and doesn't know that Liam Neeson is going to be there, and he's just carrying a baguette.
Well, he's like French.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like
it's-
I'm
well,
pretty sure
yeah, no,
French,
no, but
French
it's
people
like-
just carry baguettes home every night.
Yeah, but
Fresh baguettes.
That was like my favorite thing in the whole movie. So
That's funny. My favorite part is when he goes into the place where they're keeping all the slave girls, and he just kills all those dudes at the poker table.
Yeah.
That was badass.
Yeah.
um,
Baguettes.
I just recently saw it too.
yeah, I mean, it was like 2 weeks ago. Or
you
something.
saw 2 before you saw 1.
No, I
didn't
saw
you?
one like 3
the
days
week-
before we
that's
saw
right.
number 2.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And then speaking of 24, I mean, I see you have. Are these all yours over here?
Yes,
So I just in the last month or so, I rewatched all of 24.
that's
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
I
And
didn't know
I mean, I watched
nice.
it when it aired, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
And it reinforced in my head how much I love season 7 of 24, because after the hot mess that was season 6,
Mm-hmm.
season 7 of 24 is fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I think
It's such a refreshing change of pace. They get it out of LA. They go to DC. They get rid of CTU. It's just set in generic FBI like white walled building, but it has really good characters. Renee, Larry Moss, the
Renee.
FBI guy. And I mean, God, season 6 is such horseshit.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. I would really want to rewatch it because I rewatched season 8 recently, and I think season 8's really good
Season
too.
8's pretty good.
Because they have the twist with the ambassador who's killed, and you think Jack Bauer is going to save it. I love that stuff.
Oh,
That's
that was
really
a great
good.
moment. Yeah.
So I really want to rewatch 24, and I always have an itching to watch it. Brad, you just rewatched season 3, right?
Yeah, most of it. I was showing it to my mom, but we never got to the end of it.
That's the like virus and drug one.
That's my favorite one. Especially
that one's really good.
The finale, the season, the end of it, where Chase gets.
Yes.
It's like a great way to.
Totally.
Dan, do you own
Intense
the,
moment.
do you own the whole season?
The whole series?
The whole series?
No, it's all on Netflix.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's all on Netflix. So if you have
All right.
Netflix streaming, go watch 24.
Yeah,
You
'cause
should.
I was just going to say,
It's
I think
really
after
good.
this conversation, because I've been looking for a new show to start. Maybe this needs to be the time.
And I don't
Yeah.
know if it was directly influenced by the writer's strike, but season 7 was delayed a bit because of the writer's strike.
It was,
in
yeah.
2008 or
Yeah,
whatever.
a whole year.
And
Actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if that actually had an impact on what they did with the story, but
Well, and I think because season 7's the last season, right?
Season
no,
8.
Oh, 8 was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
It might have actually given him time to change up the show because
I
they had
think
all-
it really needed it. I mean, it's about like okay, in season 6 of 24,
You can spoil it.
in like 3 or 4 episodes in, they blow up a nuke in a suburb
Oh,
of
yeah, I've seen
California
that.
somewhere,
Yeah.
kills like 20,000 people, and then like 5 episodes later, Jack Bauer is chasing his dad and his brother and his nephew, and nobody gives a shit.
I don't remember.
It's his dad is
James Cromwell. Yeah, I remember
yeah,
that part.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He was in like The
Everything.
Sum of All Fears.
He's in
Yeah.
lots of those.
Oh, just James
He's
Conrad.
great. He's
He was
Captain
in Star
Stacy
Trek
in Spider-Man
First
3.
Contact. Nah.
Yes, yeah, he was. But like
Jeff from
you know,
Compton.
you're gonna blow up a nuke and kill 20,000 people, then you're gonna tell me that Jack Bauer's nephew was kidnapped.
It
Yeah.
seems like there should be like the 24-hour news cycle should be like everyone transfixed their TV because that's like a nuke goes off on American soil. There's nothing else going on that day. Like that's all you
Yeah.
focus on, but everyone else is kind of. It seems like everyone else is doing their daily
Now you
thing.
got me curious. I should rewatch it.
I think if you watch like the scenes, like traffic is still regularly moving and
it's-
stuff.
it's
Like
a-
Oh, yeah.
the only thing different is there's a mushroom cloud in the background.
yeah, it's a little weird.
But
Well, the truth is, what you're describing now sounds awesome. like a season of a show. Like if they'd done a season where, it started with a nuke and then the town was just dead.
Yeah.
Like it was like post-apocalyptic because everyone is inside watching TV and he's running around trying to stop terrorists on these blank streets. That sounds cool.
They have like one or two other nukes in the series. Like in season 2, they have that one that they if anyone wants to go watch it, I'm not really going to say, but they handle that one really well.
Yeah.
Because it coincides with the character death, and it's just very haunting, and like that's done really well. But then in season, it's just terrible. So 24 is good. Go watch it if you've never seen it, but there's a lot of it, so it may take you a while.
I actually think it's more problematic in season 6 because they kind of just go back to the same stuff they did previously.
Right.
Like they don't do anything really new.
Yeah.
Those first 4 episodes are great for that season, but after that,
It
there's
starts
like the
really
same
strong,
twists, and
'cause-
there's a mole. It's ETU.
I love season 5.
season 5 is
Season
good.
5's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're all good except for 6, basically. and one's-
Overall, it's a great show.
it's really good though. I mean, if you like twists and a serial drama, go watch 24.
I don't get why Milo had to get shot in the face. It just doesn't make sense. Like it was
Milo?
totally unnecessary.
Well, yeah, because it's shocking.
It's just a shock factor.
Also, that guy, I've never seen him in any other thing besides Skyline.
He's in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre
okay.
remake.
Is it that guy?
Yeah, the
Uh,
guy with the long black hair.
Oh shit.
You know Milo from 24.
No, I don't know Milo. No, he's the guy from Haven on Sci-Fi.
Oh, maybe.
Pretty
I don't
sure
know.
we're talking about the same guy.
Probably.
And then one other thing I saw, we can limit it to 3. Is
It's no big deal.
Django Unchained?
Nice.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did see. I mean, you guys have probably talked about it, but
We have.
I liked it, but it was hard to watch because of slavery. And really, like
Yeah, no,
James,
you're right.
Slavery is not funny.
No, it's just the way you said that was hilarious. No, yeah, you're
Like-
right.
Are you still broken up about your white ancestry?
it's like really good movie and really funny, and Leonardo DiCaprio's really great in it.
Yeah.
Everyone's really great in it. And I probably just need to be more mature about that stuff to be like, okay, this happened. Let's just
yeah.
admit that it happened and deal with like it's just it's hard to watch. It's
Well,
like,
yeah, because there are those jokes in that, like all of Don Johnson's character that is, I mean, they are making jokes about slavery. Like they are, I don't think they're making light of it, but the way that
Right.
he is, the way he's putting dialogue in those characters' mouths, it's a funny thing. Like to us, it's sort of funny and shocking, but you realize how true that sort of is.
right.
Mostly, but it's not necessarily what he's saying. It's not the racism in his mouth that's what's funny. It's the hypocrisy. That's what we're laughing at, because we're like, oh, he's telling this woman like, no, don't treat this black guy like a white man, but treat him like this other guy who is a white man, but don't treat
Right.
that dialogue there.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So that, and then I mean, something I'm going to watch now that I can is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And again, when you told me like 3 or 4 months ago, oh no, Dan, it's all on Netflix streaming, go watch it. And then I went and checked and it wasn't. I was so pissed at you.
Yeah, you should have been.
Psych.
I was very angry, but it like magically showed up in the past like month or so. So I'm gonna start watching it and maybe
That's
just
awesome.
fall into it.
Brad, have you finished those last 2 episodes you
No,
haven't watched?
I didn't.
Wait, D, why would you
I'm
tell
saving
me
them. See, if I finish them, then I got nothing. I got no more Sunny, so to
Well,
look forward to. So
Season 8 will come out in October.
D, why would you
so
tell
far
me my
away.
face looked fat? Because you're a horrible person. I just watched an episode today.
Yeah, it's so good.
Charlie's a fucking prophet. Oh my god.
I was watching the one last night where Dee is trying to get pregnant with those two, like she's trying to sell off her uterus, and then Vic Vinegar and Hugh Honey are trying to sell that house. Oh man, it's so good. When he's like attacking that lady And it's like, are you going to buy this house? Are you going to buy this house? Oh, man, it's so good. Yeah, you need to watch that show, Dan.
It's great.
Because we will talk about It's Always Sunny for the rest of our lives if you watch that show.
Okay. I'm down.
Cool. Nightman. Who's next? Brad, what have you been watching?
I got 3 things. I'm still watching Star Trek Next Generation.
Cool.
I'm on season 4, and my previous experience has been watching it on network TV, so it's often out of sequence. Now I'm watching it in sequence, and I have to say that the best of both worlds, 2-part seasonal cliffhanger, marks a amazing turning point in the show. I think everyone knows that already.
I don't remember that one. Which one is that?
Where Picard becomes a Borg.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I just didn't remember that was the name
Oh,
of the
spoilers, dick.
You've seen First Contact.
It came out in 1990,
not.
1991.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've seen Star Trek 6 and Star Trek 2, and
You got to see First
J.J.
Contact. It's almost a
Abrams.
zombie movie.
Yeah, you need to see First Contact. It's my favorite pre.
all right, it's
J.J.
streaming on
Abrams.
HD on Amazon Prime. I'll watch it.
What's the one where Worf is in the back of an ATV with like a Gatling gun?
Nemesis.
That's Nemesis. We don't talk about that one.
Good.
That's going to be my favorite one. Because Worf is in the back with a Gatling gun. 4 Klingons.
But yeah, no. Wait. Why do you think that? How do you think that changes the show?
It just to me, the quality of the writing and the storytelling, it just gets so much better.
Yeah.
Like the first 2 or 3 seasons are kind of, they travel somewhere and they meet some kind of new race or explore some ethical dilemma, and then wrap up the episode, and it's off to do something else next week. But after Best of Both Worlds, like the 3 or 4 episodes that follow the conclusion to that are just Picard goes, like, they go home because the Borg beat up the ship so bad.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they just take a break and they go back. They're on shore leave. Picard goes to see his brother and his family on their
The
French farm. Worf's parents, adoptive parents, show up.
Oh yeah.
And hang out. They want to tour around the ship, and his dad is obsessed with, is more interested in the ship than him.
Yeah.
And I forget who else. There's like 2 other characters that, like, it's all, the episode's called Family.
They're like field trip episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you kind of get like glimpse inside their personal lives, and then I'm blanking on the other 2 things, but they get more.
It's more character driven.
More character driven, yeah. And,
Cool. Do you think too? Because I've only seen a handful of episodes, but I know that show was originally sold in syndication. And do you think that's why they didn't have cliffhangers? Is because you could just turn it on and watch any episode without having to worry about that stuff?
Well,
I
they
think
had
their
season
seasons-
cliffhangers because everyone
their
after
seasons
that.
do.
I was looking at the episode synopsises for later series,
Mhm.
and after season 4, like I think each one has a 2-parter.
Yeah, I was just curious if that's maybe why they did it, because of the syndication. You never knew how they were going to show them. Or
Yeah. Well, and they never, the show never really becomes, and any of Star Trek never really becomes one. It's never really serialized. I've been watching through a lot of Deep Space Nine, and it's more serialized. Like the story, an episode will be dealing with stuff that has happened in the past, but you could still watch it on its own. But I think all of the shows were very strict almost about, like, every season was going to end with a cliffhanger. Because I think part of it was just that, the first Star Trek series got canceled after like 2 seasons. They needed to make sure you were going to come back in the fall, and they needed to, do things like turn the captain into a Borg because you had to come back in the fall. I don't think we see that as much now, but you're right. That is part of, I think, why that show has had such long legs and why it is syndicated so much, because of the way that those episodes are encapsulated. But
And I think it's interesting. I was watching the special features for the end of season 3, and I think it's Michael Piller. I think that's his name. He's one of the writers. He was brought on to just do a couple episodes in season 3, and then his stipulation was like, I'll do these, and then I'll go off and write my movie screenplays. And then Gene Roddenberry came up to him at the end of the season and said, "Are you going to finish the Best of Both Worlds second part for me?" He's like, "No, that was kind of one and done here." And then Roddenberry said, "Well, I'd really like to have you back because season 4 is really where this show is going to get its legs. It's really going to take off from here." And I think it might have been exactly that.
Huh.
Because
very cool.
Yeah, that's that episode there. But I haven't finished season 4 yet, so
cool. Maybe if I ever rewatch it, maybe I'll start somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's where I think it's really where it's best now. And I haven't seen a lot of the episodes in syndication from the later seasons. So
Yeah.
we'll see how
Very
that
cool.
goes. And then I guess my replay list movie for the week was Shanghai Nights.
Nice.
Dude.
Not as good as I remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I don't remember it being that good. Like, it's okay, but I don't remember
Yeah.
really loving it.
I liked it when it came out, but I haven't seen it since the theater. And
We're talking about Nights, not Noon.
yeah, Nights, the sequel
Okay.
to Noon.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought someone was laughing.
We're always laughing.
The script the jokes are okay. I think it's best when it has nods to things that actually happen in history.
Yeah.
They make light of, like Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan show up to Sir Arthur. Like throughout the movie, there's this police chief who's just referred to as Artie,
Yeah.
and at the end of the movie, he gets knighted as Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Right.
And then
I like the Charlie Chaplin stuff
Yeah.
too.
yeah, and I forgot the little kid in the movie. He's just a pickpocket. By the end of the movie, you find out that he's Charlie Chaplin, and he stows away with them as they go back to Hollywood. And there's all these kind of meta jokes about history inserted throughout. And there's this one really good fight sequence where Jackie Chan's using these like Ming vases.
Yes.
He's giving them to the bad guys, and they're holding them, and they don't want to drop them because they belong to Rathbone, their boss. And just like the choreography for all that is pretty amazing. But for the most part, and it's actually written by the writers of the Spider-Man movies, the first two.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
like Alfred Goff and
Alvin
Mark Millar.
Sargent. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sargent did the second one. You're right.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's kind of a Spider-Man tie, but yeah, essentially it just boils down to Chong Wang's father gets murdered by this British guy.
Oh yeah.
He steals
Yes, and he
their
gets that
amulet.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his sister follows him back to England, and then Chong Wang goes to New York City to pick up Owen Wilson, a Ray O'Bannon, who's apparently an accomplished writer. Like he just wrote this book of tall tales, but he's broke, so they just inadvertently team up and then go to Britain and
That's right. I always
stop
liked that
the
movie.
villains.
Yeah.
It's not very.
Yeah, I kind of remember like the action being really cool, but the plot, like the whole thing of like, oh, we're gonna build a Gatling gun and shoot the Queen or something, like that was the part where I was like,
Yeah.
it's less interesting than, because I was watching Shanghai Noon the other day. It was on TV, and I thought, man, this is probably my favorite Jackie Chan movie. Like especially that scene where he's fighting the Indians early on. Oh, it's just cool.
I
Man.
remember a lot of Noon, but
You should check out Noon.
yeah, I kind of want to watch it again.
Yeah.
But
I saw them both at once a long time ago.
Yeah.
So
and then just today I watched the most recent episode of The Office,
Oh,
and
that's still on? I thought it got canceled.
you should watch it again because Jim and Pam just had a big fight at the
I
end of
know.
the episode, and
I don't want to see Jim and Pam have a fight.
yeah, it's not something you want to see. It's really sad.
But I don't.
And at the end of it, they show the documentary crew.
No. What? They're breaking all of the rules. Like they said they were never going to do that. Like
And they just did it.
They brought back the original showrunner so he could do that. He had specific rules for the season.
So they didn't show the cameraman, but they showed the boom mic guy, who's apparently his name is Brian, and he apparently knows Pam in some capacity. And there's a woman whose name isn't revealed, but she's kind of she looks like she's a script supervisor. Like she's got a thing of notes. Even though there wouldn't be a script, obviously.
no,
But she has notes
unless
for
they-
something.
unless they reveal there's a script.
Yeah, how about that?
I don't want that to be the.
So I think the second half of The Office, you should probably tune in.
But I have a beautiful, perfect ending to that show. Like,
I did read today though that Steve Carell's not going to come back
Well, we'll
that's-
see.
and do a
yeah.
cameo.
Also, Talia al Ghul is not in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Spoilers. So
So that's it for me.
Cool.
James, what did you watch?
American Horror Story season 2 ended this week. And Ryan, I can tell you that it does not end the way that season 1 ends. The final episode is them. It's still part of that story. It's wrapping all this stuff up.
That's good.
And I think what I look back on it, and I really like this season.
That's good because my biggest complaint with season 1 is it should have ended an episode earlier
Yeah.
because I didn't like hunky dory ghost people.
This actually is like everything that I hated about the first season is what's great about this season.
Gotcha.
Because the truth is all of the like the gore and the demons and all of that stuff ends like 2 episodes before the end. So the last 2 episodes are just character-driven stuff to sort of wrap everything up. And the person who ends up sort of being the main character, we really get an interesting look into who she is and how they sort of redefine what she was doing when she was at the asylum and things like that. It's really awesome. If you watched the first season and didn't like it and never watched the second one, you just check it out. Or if you think it looks interesting, but for sure check it out. Start with season 2 because it's really
That's cool because I loved my favorite parts in season 1 where I love the story of the maid where she projects herself as young to men and old, how she really was to everybody else. And, Jessica Lange. So because the horror part of season 1 I thought was actually its weakest moments.
Yeah. And I think the show, if not for those last 2 episodes, I would have been saying that like the show isn't great because it relies so much on just sort of a shock value, like yes, there's just crazy shit in this season.
The only thing I saw from this season was Laura was watching an episode and this lady wanted Dylan McDermott's character to drink her breast milk.
Yep.
And that's the part
that
I saw.
happens, and that's actually in one of those last 2 episodes, I believe. But there is sort of a reason for that. When you find out who Dylan McDermott is, then you
obviously I left the room because I said because it was taken way out of context.
Yeah, exactly it is. But even that, like that is not the shock value stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about I've told you this before. Like the show has Anne Frank and aliens in it. Like there's just crazy stuff in there that I think they just throw in to be over the top. And so if they just had that, I don't think it would have been as good. But when they wrapped it up as a character show, finally I was watching it and going like, oh yeah, Tim Minear really is the showrunner on this. Like I can see his touch on this, or he's one of the executive producers. He's not the showrunner, but certainly heavily involved. But still, I think you check that out for sure. Especially you've got it all on DVR. Yeah. Sometime when you get some time. I also watched Payback this week, which we've talked about on the show before. But the reason is
the Mel Gibson one.
Yes, the Mel Gibson one.
Okay.
We've talked about it on the show before, but today is the day that Parker comes out in theaters, and Payback is also based on the part. Like Payback is about Parker. They rename him to Porter. But the truth is, it's based on The Hunter, which is this Richard Stark book.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Very closely based on The Hunter, in fact. And Parker, the movie that's in theater, the Jason Statham movie, is based on one of the later books. But still, going back and rewatching Parker or Payback, which we'll talk about later, but I've read an adaptation of that now. He's great. He is an amazing Parker, and the idea that they would cast Jason Statham as that character is completely wrong. Like that sort of, it's maybe the closest thing to a villain that Mel Gibson ever plays. Is there a time?
Sorry, I'm confused right now. We're talking about Payback, right?
Payback,
and you're saying that Jason Statham, if he was cast
Parker,
in Payback, it would have been a bad idea.
Jason Statham and Mel Gibson are playing the same character, basically.
Okay.
But the idea that Jason Statham could play this character anywhere near as well as Payback, or as Mel Gibson, is insane. Because
the character's called Payback.
Payback.
Joe Payback.
My name is Payback.
Oh no, here comes Payback.
Here comes Payback. Payback walks down the street.
How's it going, Payback?
How's your day been, Payback? How was work? Anyway,
do you want your $100,000 payback? It's $70,000.
Which that is so like that whole running joke in the movie is great.
Yeah, I like that.
Payback is a really really great Mel Gibson film.
Have you seen the
he's
version
awesome.
of Payback with like the director's version with the different ending?
I just watched the one that's on Netflix.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
So I don't because I remember there being some stuff.
Wait, tell me what the ending you saw was.
How
did it end for you?
I don't remember.
Was it at the train station?
No.
Was it with the apartment blowing up?
Yes.
Okay, that's the original.
Yes. Yeah, the apartment
theatrical cut. Yep.
Which I would say that the ending of that movie is maybe a little bit lackluster, for as cool as the rest of that movie is. But because he just. But the way that plot.
The way he tricks them, though, I thought was pretty clever.
That trick is really cool. Like the fact that they bring that back is really neat. So. Yeah, but it's just like it's a lame way. You kind of expect that a big bad guy like that, you're gonna kill him by strangling him to death or chopping his head off with a shovel or something. You don't expect like, oh, we're just gonna trick him and he'll blow up. Like, but still, an awesome movie. It's on Netflix. Watch it some evening if you've never seen it. Especially, probably watch it instead of going to see Parker. And then the last,
you can't say that about a movie you haven't seen.
No, you're right.
That's unfair.
And I kind of want, I kind of want to see Parker now, but still,
You want to see Jennifer Lopez naked?
she's not naked. She's just in her underwear. I saw it in the trailer.
There's nudity in the movie, though. I read the.
It's not Jennifer Lopez.
I need to take off all
I don't want it to be.
No, I take off all my clothes.
I need to know if you're wearing a wire.
We'll just stare at each other in our underwear.
It's a good Statham.
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's the only Statham I can do.
I thought Jason Statham was going to call in this week.
Well, Jason Statham can't.
He's a busy guy. He just can't call Real Nerds Podcast whenever he wants.
Jason Statham can't maintain his Jason Statham for longer than a sentence.
I think he's working on Expendables 3, so it's a little tied up.
Man. He gets worn out a little. Sorry.
I can't decide if I like Jason Statham or if I just like the bad movies he's in.
Yes.
Like we had a discussion about this. We didn't put it on the podcast.
No, because it was in a car.
But I had this discussion with James that Jason Statham. He's asking why Jason Statham would make movies like he did, and I said because people are giving him $10 million to make a movie, and James's argument says, well, I'd have enough artistic integrity not to do it. I said, bullshit. If someone's offering you $10 million to make a movie, you would do it.
Yeah.
Well, no, I understand. Yes. Okay. If somebody came to you and was like, here's $10 million to do a movie, okay. But after the Transporter movies and such, when he was first taking off, I think he was probably getting enough offers that he could pick and choose films. And I don't think he chose the best films. I think he has not had the best career.
What do you think he could play besides Jason Statham and Jason Statham movies?
Okay, I think he's really good in Snatch, and like in movies like that where he is not necessarily being a The Italian Job. He's great in The Italian Job, but he doesn't play. I mean, he's fun in The Italian Job. If he only does movies like that and picks better movies, but he's been doing these movies where like I see it and I'm just like I don't want to see that.
What, you don't love Death Race?
Oh, Death Race is fun.
I love Death Race.
I think I just like Death Race because I love Joan Allen, though.
Dan has a thing for Joan Allen.
I have a huge crush on Joan Allen. It's pathetic.
That's all right.
It is really,
I'm all up in that Joan Allen.
But I drive a fast car.
You know who I like in that movie? Ian McShane.
Fucking A.
I like the guy who played the Asian guy. so the Asian guy, but he was also in Mortal Kombat. He was never in
Robin Shue?
Yeah, and Beverly Hills Ninja. Those are the only three movies. Right.
I have Mortal Kombat on Blu-ray.
Oh no.
Okay.
Here's the thing about like just taking money to do a movie is that at a certain point, if you make so many bad movies, they're going to stop offering you $10 million, and then you don't get offers for $10 million ever again.
Yeah, but then you have $70 or $80 million, and you're okay.
Well, if you're Nicolas Cage, you'll blow it all.
And then you could be like, then you could go, hey, Guy Ritchie, it's Jason Statham. I really need to be in one of your new movies. And Guy Ritchie say, all right, sure, you can be in one of my movies. I don't know how Guy Ritchie sounds.
Well, I'm doing Sherlock Holmes 3. What would you like to play in that? Well, I'd like to play the villain.
I like to play the villain. And I'll sit Sherlock down and say, solve this puzzle.
But first, I need to know if you're wearing a wire. Why would he be wearing a wire? It's Victorian England. That's just my thing.
Hold on.
I'm Moriarty's son. You killed my father.
I can win this argument because Jason Statham was in an Uwe Boll movie. He was in a Dungeon Siege tale.
Yeah.
And then he went on and
Farmer.
made Expendables. I mean, he's fine.
Yeah.
You'd think that would ruin him, but he went on and made Expendables.
And you know what? The truth. Okay.
And what's that
if
other
I were
girl,
somebody-
Lily Sabowski? What is the fuck's her name? She's in it too.
If I were somebody who liked the Crank films, maybe I would feel differently. But I don't.
What are you saying, James? My Crank films aren't good enough for you?
Oh man, that's awesome. Anyways,
what were we talking about?
What the fuck are we talking about?
The following started this week, which is that new Kevin Bacon movie or TV show, and I don't know I don't know that I like the show. Like it's well made, I guess. But this first episode is very piloty, you know. They're setting a lot of stuff up, but I don't really like anybody yet.
The bad guy in it, that James Purefoy. Is that who it is?
Yeah, Purefoy.
You can see
However
his
you say it.
dick in Rome if you ever want to watch
good.
Rome.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
He plays Marcus. He's really good in it.
I'll jump right on that.
Rome's great.
No, jump.
That's what she
jump
said.
on. Yeah. Aha.
Mhm.
The thing that makes me sad is that Natalie Z is in the show, and
Who?
she left. Well, she left Justified to do this show, and that makes me sad because she's
Probably because you got paid more money.
she shouldn't have. It's not anywhere near as
Higher
good of a
profile
show.
network.
Yeah.
It's just some of the exposition. Oh, I should say what it is. If you haven't seen the trailers for Following, basically this guy who he used to be an FBI agent, but he left because things didn't end badly, which is one of the many cliches that they use in the show. His last sort of mission was he caught this teacher who was like a serial killer. He was killing these women, and the teacher was really obsessed with Edgar Allan Poe because Poe is dark. And basically he ends up breaking out of jail, and they call Kevin Bacon back in because he knows a lot about how to track this guy. And what they find out is the things that this guy was writing, like the books and stuff, because he was an English teacher or a professor. He has sort of gathered this following. Like there are these other.
Wait, that's the name of the show.
Yes, they never say it. They never call it a following.
The name of the show.
They never call it a following. They'll call them followers, but they never talk about his following. They always avoid that. And so like all of the other crazies are all like doing things for him, and like, but they're just sort of ridiculous. Like there is this girl, the girl who sort of gets killed in the first episode. Spoilers for this pilot, but this is just an idea of the kind of silly stuff that's going to be in the show. The girl who gets killed in this episode, we find out that the guys who are living next door to her, who are this gay couple, are actually two psychopaths who aren't actually gay and have been carrying on this whole long ruse for however long to befriend this girl so that eventually they could kidnap her. Like,
it's not a ruse; it's a gay charade.
Anyway, but it's stuff like that where like
charade.
it happened, and I was just like, oh come on.
You've seen Johnny Knoxville in several movies. Now see him in Gay Charade.
I would watch that movie.
Remember when we did the
Co-starring Ryan Reynolds.
President Stephen? We got to do gay charade now.
Oh, we do. I was going to do Freddy versus Ash, but Gay Charade is totally on. Starring Ryan Reynolds and Johnny Knoxville. They're gay, or are they?
They're actually serial killers.
They've been out of the closet for years.
Until we find out what skeletons
Anyways,
are
the
in
following.
their closets.
Entertainment Weekly says the following is really good.
It's not bad. It's really good for network TV. That's what it is. So, someone will die every week, just like every other stupid show on network TV, because they can't write a better plot. But I'm probably gonna keep watching it because it's not the worst, but it's not as good.
I think Kevin Bacon's always good.
Yeah. Kevin Bacon is pretty good. He is covered in cliches, but he's pretty good.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's all messy and sticky.
Yeah, it's gross. Gay cliches.
You're picking up on what I'm laying down?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I've been watching.
Cool. Now, words from our sponsors. The Comic-Con that is a mile above the rest returns in 2013, and it's bigger than ever.
That's right. Stan Lee's going to be at Denver Comic-Con this year.
They also have George Takei at Denver Comic-Con 2013.
Plus Kelly Hu and Will Wheaton.
Friend of the podcast, Georges Jonty, will be there. So go online to denvercomiccon.com where you can buy tickets. Stay tuned. VIP tickets for Stan Lee will be available. My man-spider sense is tingling.
Hey, look, it's Man Spider.
How's it going, true believers? When I'm swinging through Colorado and I need comic books, I head to Arvada, Colorado, to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Oh no, the teal troll is attacking me.
My son's in danger. Will no one help him?
Oh no, it's Man Spider.
Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, the whips the competition with great deals on back issues, 50% off, hold slot, 20% off list price. You want sports memorabilia? They got that too.
Where are you going, Man Spider? The teal troll still has my son.
Here's web in your eye.
Oh no, I'm bested by Man Spider again.
So visit 6700 Wadsworth Boulevard in Arvada, Colorado, and tell them the Real Nerd sent you.
For barbecue that can't be beat, try Birdman Barbecue Sauce. Available and original and spicy. These robust, full-flavor sauces have the awesome power to kick your taste buds in their face. And for that smoking taste on everything you eat, try new Birdman Smokin' Rub. Caution! Meat left unrubbed may suffer from flavor performance anxiety. You can pick up Birdman Barbecue at local area Ace Hardware stores, Ruff's Barbecue in Golden, and the Danny Cash Hot Shop off Broadway. You can also like us on Facebook at Birdman BBQ.
Does this sound familiar? You're interested in purchasing that new action figure but aren't sure if it's worth it?
Well, come check out PlasticExplosion.com, where you can go to find all the latest and greatest action figure previews and reviews.
Every week they'll be bringing you reviews and picks from your favorite collections, such as
DC Universe, Masters of the Universe Classics, Marvel Universe,
Star Wars, Transformers,
and many more.
Come check us out at PlasticExplosion.com. That's PlasticExplosion.com.
You know, box office numbers is what we do next.
This is the box office stats.
Sad day for our fan, our big Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think,
Yeah.
would he come in at number 9, I think?
10.
Number 10. Oh.
Number 10.
What? Whoa.
Last
What?
Stand. The Last
Stand.
Stand was number 10 last weekend.
What?
Wow, last time I checked it was like 5th.
It got
I guess that was just Friday.
It got beat by the fucking Silver Linings Playbook. Of course, it's number 3, but still, like, little movies are beating The Last Stand.
But the news really is that Mama was number 1 at
Yeah.
almost 29 million.
32.
32 million. So Jessica Chastain had the number 1 movie and the number 2 movie, plus the number 1 movie last week. So she's on quite a roll.
Yeah, and I mean, Mama did so well. It's almost twice as much as Zero Dark 30. Like, it's
crazy.
we may have to see that movie. Since none of us, we all said we were going to see it last week.
I know. I was going to, but then I got all those cool movies when
Yeah.
I went and traded them in.
I got some evenings off. Maybe I'll go see some movies.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's box office numbers. Box Office Mojo has all those box office numbers for you.
Check them out.
Check them out. What's coming out next week, guys?
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Dude,
just
you just-
Downton Abbey.
You know, you have that like opened
Just
up.
only
He's
Downton.
like, oh, James, he really likes to watch people drink tea and be in English and be on PBS. It's
Yeah, I do.
it's not network TV. God, you sound like those.
It's
You know
really
those people
good.
who think only British TV is good.
No,
Fuck.
I'm not one of those people.
You are
I've
one of those
argued
people.
against it a lot, but Downton Abbey.
I
is
like
really
Sherlock. I like Downton Abbey. And what were we talking about?
Here's the thing.
No,
Here's
no,
the
no,
thing.
wait. What
Oh
were we
yeah,
talking about?
Jekyll.
Jekyll, yeah, he's like
that miniseries Jekyll. That
oh,
they did a
that's
few years
not
ago.
where it's good. We were watching this like trailer for some show on NBC before
Yeah.
the movie.
Do no harm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Dexter Light.
and
Yeah.
James
Well,
says, "Well, it's not going to be as good as BBC's Jekyll." No, just
No,
saying.
it's a different. No, I'm just saying, like as a like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of a show. Jekyll was really good.
Yeah.
But I've always said the stuff that we get over here, the people who say that about like, oh, American TV is shit and British TV is so much better. No, all we see from Britain is the cream. Like they're not bringing EastEnders over here. Well, they did in the 80s, but still, like the real garbage over there, they're not bringing over here. So that's why people feel it.
But isn't Seven Psychopaths come out next week too?
It does come out next week. As well as Hotel Transylvania comes out.
I do want to see that.
Are these DVD releases?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make
This
sure
is
you
all
go to the
Tuesday.
bottom. There's
And
no
Blu-ray,
like, sewer
yeah.
pinata shark or whatever.
There are like none. Like I went
man.
through the whole list. There are no sewer pinatas this week.
At when I was at Tradesmart, they had literally their Blu-ray section in SH was just a bunch of shark movies, Shark Bait, Shark 3D, Shark Week 3D, but not like Discovery Channel Shark. It was like Shark Week made by Asylum movie Shark.
Holy shit! I'm going to Tradesmart this week.
Like Shark Calendar. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the biggest collection of shark movies. Oh
As long as they're used, you get them buy one get one for $2.
hell yes,
Jeez.
man!
Where is this place?
That's in Littleton.
Oh.
It's on Wadsworth and
Just past Bowles, I think.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's on
it's
the
not far.
I know
It's
that
about-
part of town.
It's about halfway between where we are now and where
Yeah.
you and I live, Dan.
Used to be it used to be a Kmart, and then it was a Sportsman's Outfitters thing, and
They have a
now
lot of
it's
comic
Trade
books
Mart.
there too.
Oh, dude!
They have a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Are we recording a commercial now?
Books
sounds
and
like
video
it.
games and
Because I
toys.
want to go real
Yeah.
bad.
It's pretty cool.
I've been there twice, and I've never walked out with anything though.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah.
Probably gonna spend my whole next paycheck there.
You probably won't.
And on a website.
They don't
That's
have
a lot
any.
of money, though.
Oh, you know what movie I didn't mention I watched?
It's not as much money as you think, Dan. It's really not.
You know what sucks? I totally forgot. I also watched Heavyweights.
Oh, yeah.
If you've never seen Heavyweights, it's a Disney movie about fat kids going to fat camp, and it's really funny. Where the fat kids get their revenge on the skinny guys. It's great.
Written by Judd Apatow.
Yep.
Anyway, what's coming out next week? Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 2 comes out this week, which I'm really excited to see. That's going to be a must-buy for me because that first half was really good. Paranormal Activity 4, which Ryan will pick up.
No, I won't. I will stream it for free.
The pitiful first season or complete series of Pan Am comes out.
Yeah, why does it say the first season on the box, or the complete series on the box, but at the bottom it says the first season?
Because it's both. It is both those things.
Someone's holding out hope.
It's like Forrest Gump said. I think maybe both is happening at the same time. The Cold Light of Day, which is that movie we didn't see. Dude, there is a Blu-ray release of Flight of the Navigator this week.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you can see that before they remake it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. That's what's releasing. Some good stuff. It's a big week.
Yeah. Not really.
There are a couple of things there that I think are must-buys for me.
But you can always go check Digital Bits to see what's coming out not the following week that I've already posted on Facebook. It's called Bigfoot's Wild Weekend, where Bigfoot takes bikinis off girls. That's all I got from the synopsis of the movie.
If we go to Amazon through that link to Bigfoot and buy Bigfoot on Amazon there, then it gives a little bit of money to Digital Bits.
So yeah, support those.
What if I buy anything else through that link?
Also gives them
Okay,
money.
Yes.
It doesn't just have to be
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot's Wild Weekend.
Bigfoot thing.
Yeah.
What if actually?
But I wonder if you click on Bigfoot and then you go to the product description page and then you get sidetracked by something cooler. So like you're suddenly on a page for a blender and you end up buying the blender. Do they still get money?
Well, yeah. Like, what if I want toilet paper through Amazon? Can I make sure that store gets the?
Honestly, I used to say I was always going to do that. It's not as cheap as you think.
Well,
Like,
we've been lied to then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toilet paper on Amazon is not the best way.
And
to buy
besides,
toilet
I'm
paper.
not going to Amazon when I need toilet paper. I need it now.
Even if you have Amazon Prime.
Even with Prime, it's not going to.
It's like 2 days. In
It's
2
like an
days, I will have a
emergency.
clean butt.
You're standing by your mailbox going like, come on.
That's the secret of why I live so close to that Walgreens.
I got the shit pangs.
I can walk out of my apartment and be inside of a Walgreens in like 60 seconds. It's right there.
And you've got to wash or dry in
open
your
it
house
up.
so you can wash your pants when you get home.
You open it up. Oh, they're damaged, and I got to return them. I can't wait any
I
longer.
can't unspool them.
They sent me Quilted Northern instead of Charmin. I'm sending this back.
Unspool some real news, James.
It's real news.
I was looking
Nothing this week. It's shitty. Now next.
There's one thing.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
What's the one thing?
The one thing is that Kevin Feige has confirmed that Doctor Strange is going to be a movie.
That's cool. You
Yeah.
know, Doctor Strange is one of those characters I thought was always kind of cool. Steve Ditko designed him in 1964 as kind of a balance because back then magic in comics was really hard.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that's such a huge news story for this week that Doctor Strange is finally seeing the light of day.
Yeah.
Because,
Well, and it's one of those things that like we never really knew if cosmic superheroes were going to be hard, which they were, but Thor made it happen. If that was going to be hard, then Doctor Strange was really going to be out there.
yeah, because I mean he's dealing with mystics and crazy things, but he has great villains.
Yeah, it's going to be a while because he said it's their plan for Phase 3, which will be post Avengers 2. But just the idea that they're working on that, I think, is cool. I would love for them to, even if he doesn't become a part of like the third Avengers movie or anything like that. Just the idea that they're gonna, with this success, they're gonna bring in some of those other characters and give them a movie too. It's just cool. If only for the fans of that character.
Yeah, because I'd like to see him branch out too. Because I mean, how many times they given a Punisher a chance and Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
Where someone I think actually Doctor Strange is kind of an more interesting character.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he used to be a skilled surgeon until he had an accident, so he couldn't be a surgeon anymore.
Magic accident.
And
yeah. The one piece of news this week is that the guy who directs Metalocalypse is looking to make he's going on to onto the internet to gather up some money because he wants to make a documentary about Superman Lives, which we all, of course, know the story that Kevin Smith tells about his scripts for Superman Lives, but he sort of wants to compile all of the weird stuff that happened trying to make that movie and all of what Tim Burton was trying to do, which I think would be really interesting. I would like to know that story.
Do you think you'd get Tim Burton to participate in that? Because I don't. Because Tim Burton
No.
seems like a pretentious dick to me.
Yeah, even if he did, I don't know.
But you know what, Tim Burton, if you want to come on my show and sit down for an interview, I'd love to talk to you about Ed Wood.
It's one of those things where, like, I don't even know.
There's a really funny picture of Nick Cage in the Superman suit.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And he looks like, it sounds weird, but do you remember those old, like, 1920s pictures of, like, a gangster who was shot, and he has, like, the eyes are, like, looking the wrong spot? That's what it looks like.
It looks like they photoshopped his mugshot onto,
Exactly.
like, a really awful Superman
like
costume.
a latex Superman suit.
Yeah, like a toy, like, because the photo is not in real good shape either. If they did get Tim Burton to talk about it, I wouldn't trust it, is what I was trying to say. Like, I wouldn't really believe that was the truth of how, like the way that Paul Salmon talked about Ridley Scott not really understanding how Blade Runner, like the actual story of how the Blade Runner subplots got in there. I would imagine Tim Burton is that way, where, like, Tim Burton just doesn't remember it correctly. But I think it's interesting. The internet has been fascinated with that movie for years. Every now and then, like, those crazy pictures will pop up, like no one's seen them before. It's just weird. No, the one piece of news this week is that J.J. Abrams is going to direct Star Wars.
Bullshit. Don't lie to me, James.
No, I mean, he
said he wasn't going to do it, man.
He said he wasn't going to do it, and now he's saying that he is.
Which is really cool. I mean, what's crazy about it, though, he literally has to finish Star Trek Into Darkness and then go right into that movie because Disney's been so aggressive with how they want to release it that he has to start prepping it because you're talking about effect shots that are going to be, pretty intense. So,
and there's way more fantasy involved. So, yeah, it's going to be special effects intensive.
But I think what also is kind of cool about it too is he's such a fan of the original trilogy that I think we might see a return of practical monsters and actual locations and
I think he is the right director for it. I still am worried about them rushing it. I'm worried that if they try to just shove it down the pipe so quickly that he doesn't really get enough time to make it his own and really bring all of the things that he values in filmmaking to that movie, and like the practical stuff, like the character-driven stories, then it might just end up being like the first bad J.J. Abrams movie.
I don't know. Also, too, though, I mean, you could take someone like Peter Jackson who loved King Kong, and he made a King Kong movie that I think blasphemous maybe is better than the original.
Yeah.
So, you could get that too where, he's been thinking about it forever. He sits down and works with a screenwriter and they have a good idea and then the screenwriter writes it and because he might already have an idea of what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Because if you're a huge fan, I think you would.
And he always sort of said, like with Star Trek, he wasn't the biggest Star Trek fan, but he said when he made that movie that he approached it like he was getting to make a Star Wars movie because he felt like he was never going to get to, because at the time that was not ever going to be a possibility. So it is kind of neat, and it did always seem like one of those where I was like, well, yeah, if they offered it to him, I'm sure he would take it. Slash Film talked about the fact that like it seems weird that he would take on two franchises at the same time, but he's clearly not. He's going to drop Star Trek. Like that's not. He probably won't make another Star Trek movie. And somebody tweeted at them, and I love this, and will remember this the rest of my life now. That somebody said Star Trek is sci-fi and Star Wars is fantasy, and that is really the dividing line between them. And I think that is, if you take that approach, you understand like, oh yeah, this is not just him. He's not just going to give us a Star Trek movie. This is going to be different, which I think is exciting.
Yeah. And I trust him. And how cool is it going to be to see Bad Robot followed by Walt Disney?
Oh shit. Oh, and Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm, Bad Robot.
I haven't really been following the return of Star Wars since Disney acquired it and however long ago. Are they just going to be calling it Episode 7, 8, 9?
Well, yes. They'll have subtitles just like the other ones, but we don't know what they are yet.
And also, when you said the return of actual, like, kind of physically
practical
things, you mean like Hoth and Endor versus Naboo?
Yeah. Where you're not, it's not all like jumping on.
It's not just all
green boxes and they put stuff in.
Well,
I hope, anyways.
Or Tauntauns versus Jar Jar.
They'll have physical objects to act against.
Right.
Yeah.
So
we hope, anyways.
I hope, yeah.
Well, and
I hope that's his approach.
maybe this will be less true because he is coming in so late on the project. But he is a master at getting his budgets really low so that they can spend money in the right places. So it means that I think we're going to get a very pretty movie with the right kind of special effects in it, like the right amount of special effects and then the right amount of practical stuff, which is not what the prequels are at all. Like that is just green screen. And that needs to not be the way they make that movie.
Is there going to be a shitload of lens flare like in Star Trek?
Hopefully.
There will be
I hope there's a lens flare on each lightsaber that just blinds you.
Oh,
You can't even watch the fight.
Dude, lens flares on lightsabers would
Yes.
be like a trail.
What's
would be
going on? I can't see anything.
badass.
Yeah.
Did he kill him?
Oh man.
A lightsaber lens flare trail would be sick, though.
There will be an appropriate amount of lens flare. An appropriate amount.
The correct amount.
You know, watching
Actually, in episode 1, when Qui-Gon's like there's that zoom in on Qui-Gon when he's fighting Darth Maul.
there
there
is
is
some of
a glow
Oh, yeah.
that,
During
like,
the Duel of the
spreads.
Fates.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
well, even I was watching Indiana Jones. There's a lot of lens flares in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah. He is not the first one to use lens flares. He just did a lot of them in Star Trek,
Yeah.
and then now, like I think it was 30 seconds before somebody took the Star Wars logo and then just put lots of lens flares on it and posted that on the internet. Like it was, yeah. It's unfair for that to be his.
But there was a lot of it.
There was a yes. I don't disagree. There was a lot of it. There will probably be less in Into Darkness, but still. Because if there's
It
a lot
doesn't
of
matter.
lens flare in Into Darkness,
That's a little, yeah.
that would be just too ironic.
Who cares? It still looks awesome.
It looks awesome. Yeah.
Benedict
I haven't
Cumberbatch
seen
kills
anything
people
on
with a
it.
lens flare.
I haven't not seen a single thing on that new Star Trek movie. And I really liked the 2 or 3 year ago
Yeah.
one. So
Have you seen the trailer?
no, I've
Oh,
seen
okay.
nothing on it. Zero things.
Sure, that's probably like they're in a different world. That's what I would want.
But that's because I don't follow this stuff as much as you guys, and then I
Yeah.
kind of forget about it for a while. And
Yeah.
like when I go to the movies and see like 3 or 4 trailers, like the Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Olympus Has Fallen.
Olympus Has Fallen. Now I want to go like look at some more stuff for that movie because that looks like a really fun movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just don't follow this stuff. So
Yeah. There's not a lot out there either. Like there's 2 trailers and that's it,
Yeah,
I'll watch 'em.
J.J. Abrams is really secretive about his movies.
which is good. Anyway, that's news.
James has a comic book of the week.
What's up, nerds? It's the Comics Corner.
Oh, I do. So Parker comes out this week, and for years now I've had Darwin Cook's comic book adaptation of Richard Starker's Parker series, The Hunter. There's a lot of titles here on my list of things I need to read. And a couple weeks ago we were at Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, and they have the whole series there. And probably that's just what I'm going to do every time I go. I'll just buy the next in this series because it's great. It's for one thing, it's published by IDW in these beautiful hardcovers, which is not the first time we've said that about IDW here because they make really nice books.
Have you seen their the premium site for what is it called? It's like IDW, but they already do deluxe hardcovers. Now they do super extra deluxe limited edition, like only made 300 hardcovers. They're beautiful.
Oh wow! Are they like?
It's like
their
IDW
version
Elite
of-
or something.
Huh? Is it like their version of the Ultimate or the what are those? The Watchmen.
DC
Watchmen's
yeah,
Absolute
Absolute editions?
The Absolute
yeah.
editions. It's
I
kinda
guess
like
yeah.
that. Huh.
More
But
expensive.
you get way more
Yeah.
stuff with it. Like it comes with signed artwork, certificates, and they're really good. Sorry to derail you.
Oh
but
no, absolutely. I'm gonna check that out because there's like if they do one for Lock and Key, I will spend stupid amounts of money.
I think
on
they
that.
did. There's a limited edition Lock and Key in there. I think.
Oh, maybe it was just the first one. If they do one of like the whole series when it's done, I will spend dumb money on that. Anyway, Darwin Cook. If you've never seen Darwin Cook's art, it's gorgeous.
I love Darwin
He
Cook.
and especially here because this is pretty early, sort of when he came out of sort of was it animation. He became a cartoonist. He had a different job. He hasn't been in comics that long, really. And so his art here is a little bit more sort of sketchy, but it's that way on purpose because it's a noir book. It's actually Richard Parker is a pseudonym for a different guy whose name I can't remember, but he's won Academy Awards for things. But basically, Parker is this guy who he's a criminal, And when we first meet him, the first like 8 pages of the book, there's no dialogue. It's just he's dirty and he's kind of bloody and he's just like going into places and doing these little scams and doing little cons to get enough money to clean himself up and buy a suit. And next thing you know, like he combs his hair and he looks suave again. And, you know, that's just all we need to know about this guy just to meet him. And the way that Darwin Cook puts in like the actual prose from the book and sort of gets you into the mood and gives you that sort of that noir narration is really cool. I find myself like reading it at work and my break goes by way too fast. And then I don't want to stop because it's so much fun. Though he is a total dick to women because it is in that old noir style and it was written back in the 60s, the original books. But like the first time he meets this woman, we don't know who she is, but he's telling her like she should just take too many pills and kill herself, which she just does. You know? Or like the criminals are just walk into a room and punch a woman and knock her right over, and you're like, oh my god, like it makes me uncomfortable. But he's sort of doing it for a reason because he wants you to understand just how sort of gritty and not good people these people are. But it's a great book. It's gorgeous. The collection is amazing. I can't wait to keep reading this series. So go check it out and read that instead of saying Parker this weekend. There are plenty of ways you can enjoy things that aren't Parker this weekend.
I always thought Darwin Cook would do a good Batman. I don't know if he's done it, but he'd make a really cool Batman.
I think he did a sketch.
There's the New Frontier Justice League straight to DVD thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which I guess had his art style.
Yeah.
So
he's a cool artist.
He draws eyes really well, which is a weird thing to say, but it's just true. Like he gets a lot of emotion for how simple his art tends to be. That's a mean way of saying it, but he gets a lot of emotion through his animation.
I'm pretty sure he teamed up with either Jeff Loeb or Tim Sale for something Batman related, but I don't remember what it is.
I know he was doing. He's done quite a bit of Rocketeer work, which is great.
Yeah, his covers are awesome.
His covers for Rocketeer are amazing.
This week, we saw Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters. You're the guest, Dan. Should people go see Hansel and Gretel?
Are you looking for like a yes or no answer?
Yes. Or however you want to say.
Yes, with a sentence or so.
Yes. And I'll say that it's not fair to say I was expecting nothing out of that movie. But I was not expecting anything out of the movie. I didn't know anything about it. I just saw the poster before.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is gonna be pretty dumb, but I'll go see it. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to get out and do a thing with humans.
Yeah.
And that movie was really fun.
Nice.
Very surprised.
Nice.
Yeah.
James, should people go see Hansel and Gretel?
Yeah. They should really go see Hansel and Gretel.
You know what's totally awesome?
Yeah.
It's Hansel and Gretel. You should
Hansel
totally
really
roll
good,
the trailer.
Man. Oh, shit.
Most people say witches aren't real. It's stuff of fairy tales. Then one day they show up at your door and eat your kids. That's where we come in.
My name is Gretel, and this is my brother Hansel.
We kill witches. What do? You drop something.
How do you best kill a witch?
Start with this. Morning, sunshine. Cutting off her head is also quite nice.
I hate that one.
In the last 2 weeks, we have 5 more children taken from us.
Children being taken in these numbers, witch does not come out in the open like that. Unless she has to.
The witch, she killed them, all of them. She gave me a message.
That was awesome.
Where are the children?
There's a place deep in the forest. There'll be many witches. They'll be too powerful.
Gretel, I see you got my invitation.
I don't think we're hunting witches. I think they're hunting us. I have my sister. When you see my signal, you unleash hell.
Wait, what's the signal?
Oh, it'll be me. Blowing one of these bitches' heads off. Some people will say that not all witches are evil, that's new. That their powers could be used for good. I say burn them all.
She looks angry.
Yeah, face like that, I'd be angry too. You shut up.
Talk about a movie. Okay, so one, it has a lot of production companies involved, and the one that really caught my eye was Gary Sanchez Productions, because that's Will Ferrell's production company.
Mm-hmm.
And it says Will Ferrell. That doesn't. Maybe it's just Adam McKay or something was doing it. Nope, executive produced by Will Ferrell. And so I'm watching. I said, maybe this movie is a little more goofy. It's a movie that Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter should have been.
Yes, amen.
Because it takes place in Germany, but Jeremy Renner doesn't have a German accent.
It is stupid and it knows it. Like in premise, it is dumb and it should be a shit film and it knows it. So it just swings for the fences and it's so much fun.
Yeah, and it was funny. I didn't expect it to be funny.
It's hilarious.
Did you expect it to be funny when you see the trailer?
We were laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh,
what was the other movie that did that recently? We were like, it knows it's 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does it in a different way. Because this is in the same echelon as like your Van Helsing movies, and that's kind of what I was expecting. But this tonally, I think is just great.
And it's just fun.
When Gretel first shows up, and the first thing she says, like there's a scene where they're gonna burn this witch, and she obviously is not really a witch, and the sheriff is a douche. And Gretel shows up with a gun to his head, and the first thing we hear her say as an adult is, let her go, otherwise I'm gonna blow your brains all over these fucking hillbillies. And it's hilarious. Like they feel like they are teleported out of a different time. I mean, they're running around with like basically shotguns and repeating crossbows and stuff like that in ye olde times, and it's just her personality is great.
Yeah, because we made the comment that one of the things I love is strong women characters.
Yeah,
and in this one, she is never saved. She always saves herself. There's a part where they become separated, and she's resourceful and kills things, and it's just cool.
Well, and it even starts that way. Like the flashback at the beginning when they're kids, she is the one who finds a nail and picks herself free and gets the knife and stabs the witch, and they help each other. Like it's unfair to act like Hansel does nothing.
They both kick ass in their own ways.
Yeah, and I think the movie doesn't even totally realize that this is a movie about Gretel, because like the narration is done by Hansel, even though we hear the Gretel version of the narration is in the trailers. So I don't know why they switched that. But and like at the end she gets captured and stuff like that, but she's not the damsel in distress at all. Like she is badass.
And there's really funny, clever parts. The part that I thought was kind of funny too is they're in the bar, and that one guy who's been cursed by the witch comes in, and he's going to say something, and there's like an Uber fan who loves Hansel and Gretel. He takes all their newspaper clippings out, and Hansel recognizes what's happening to this guy, so he pulls the kid in front of him, and the dude blows up and blood and guts everywhere, and so he doesn't get drenched.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Gretel, and she says, the something spell. I fucking hate that one.
Yeah. The hunger for crawling creatures or something like that. I fucking hate that one. Every time they say fuck in this movie, it is perfect.
Yeah.
Like it is the funniest time you've ever heard the word fuck in a movie.
And how clever is when they go back to the childhood house where the witch took them, and Jeremy Renner comes, Hansel comes down and says, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
And then he goes into this house, and then Gretel shows up and she says basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And what makes it funny is because it's such a cliche in movies that they recognize it, and that they say these really off the wall comments about it.
Yeah.
And I thought the makeup was really good on the witches.
Yeah.
Was really interesting.
It's pretty cool. I will say Famke Janssen, I don't think I've ever seen Famke Janssen. Well, no, I guess she does kind of in GoldenEye. But this is the first time I really feel like as a villain she has been just asked to chew scenery. And I don't think she's real good at it.
What about Last Stand?
Famke Janssen in The Last Stand?
X-Men 3?
Oh, in that one. I don't think she's chewing scenery there. I don't. She's not very good, but I don't think that they went to her and was like, "No, we really want you to like really be over the top." Like she's supposed to be brooding and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess that's the only weak. I mean, her character design was cool and she looked cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, you expect that villain to be a little more, I know what you mean. You expect her to kind of be the Wicked Witch of the West and
Yes,
have
if they
that-
had gone like that, that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, she's okay. I mean, the character design's really cool.
Yeah. But the thing, Brad, because you didn't see it, Brad, this movie is super gory. And, like, every time you want to see, like, they're going to do something, like have a troll crush somebody's head, you see it. Because there's a troll in this movie as well.
Yeah. And was he half? I think he was half CGI and half practical.
Yeah.
Because he looked like he was.
Well,
it
yeah,
was
like at one
makeup.
point he's on the ground and she runs up and is touching him, and
Yeah.
it doesn't. She's like touching a thing.
His whole face is definitely pretty practical.
Yeah, it looks like those 1980s practical monsters, like kind of puppet.
And he's not as good as I would want him to be if it were a big budget film. Like his face isn't as quite as articulate, like his nose doesn't jiggle or anything. He reminded me a lot of the bad guy, like the big Nazi from Rocketeer, who's like, where is it? The rocket. That guy. He kind of reminded me of that.
But I think he looks cooler than any of the giants I saw in Jack the Giant Slayer trailer.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I mean, he's a troll. He's not that big, but yeah, as far as the character design, yeah, you're right. And a really cool, like a kind of smart plot element there that they reveal. I mean, this movie's got a lot of exposition and rules like that they kind of hand out clunkily, but the basically you find out that the trolls serve all these witches, and where that goes, and the fact that he is this troll who he works for the witches, but he's actually kind of nice and he just doesn't have any other choice. Like, he's really cool. Like, I like that guy, Edward.
And let's not forget about the handicapped witch that Jeremy Renner kicked off the side of a mountain and shot like 5 times.
Yes. There's a witch with no legs at the end, who's clearly a woman with no legs,
and she's
dressed like a witch.
And she's pulling on his leg, and he just kicks her off the cliff and shoots her and obliterates her.
What kind of message does that send?
I don't care. It was cool. Yeah, man. The movie's still dumb.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, don't.
But you can be dumb as long as you're fun.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's
a lot of fun.
It's easily the most fun I've had in the theater all year. In the last 3 weeks.
That sounds like my 21 Jump Street moment from last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
It probably won't be in my top 10 at the end, but man, did it make for a really fun night.
But again, it's a movie that recognizes what it is, and it just goes with it instead of, trying to be serious like Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. You just go with it. Who cares that these guys have American accents and they're in Germany and
unlike Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, it knows what things it needs to show you, what things you want out of it, and it pacing wise is spot on. Like, the movie's like 83 minutes long.
Yeah, it's
like,
really
short.
short.
Like bang
zippy.
for as far as length for your dollar, you're not getting much here. But that's okay, because at all times, like, they're starting a new scene, the status quo is a little bit different. Like, this is this is where we're going to get to see this part. We're going to get to see, like, oh, here's these guys out in the woods, and they're all going to get killed by witches, and then we'll know what witches are like. So it's always doing something new and changing and stuff like that, and having that kind of a pace on a movie like this, I think, is really important. Because if you give it a lot of breathing room, then we all remember how stupid what we're watching is.
Mm-hmm.
And this never lets you do that.
Yeah, they never showed me anything I didn't want to see.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was never bored.
Yeah, I mean, because even like the things that are dumb, like when you spoilers, but we're in that part of the show. When you find out things like that Gretel is sort of a witch, or like their mom was a witch, or stuff like that. That exposition, which is dumb, and I don't care, or whatever. It goes by so fast because they treat it like clunky exposition and just get through it. That it was like, okay, whatever. That's where we are now. Now we're gonna watch them fight some more witches, and it's gonna be cool. Which is great. That's what the movie needed to be.
Your point about how it feels like Hansel and Gretel were kind of pulled out of time into this other time.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. That's really like they look in place, but they seem so out of place that it's very
like
it's really fun to watch them interact with all these other people.
Yes,
yeah,
like their characters are tonally very different. So like they walk around and refer to people as fucking hillbillies and shit like that.
Yeah,
it's almost like they just look down on these peons. Because they're running around with like tasers that they made in their backyard or something. Like literally, there's a taser in the film.
It's got all these screws and nuts and and again, having like these characters from a different period, it could be either really jarring or really interesting. And it was interesting, but I didn't even think about that until you brought it up. So that's the point.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
There's also a naked chick in it.
Oh yeah, there is that one.
Yeah, there's boobs. There is more boobage in this movie than Texas Chainsaw.
No, you see like one
nudity
like
report.
1.5. I think the other
1.4.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's an okay boob.
Oh, that's funny. It's that one boob. It's pretty all right.
Real Nerds critiquing all the nudity in
Absolutely.
movies.
That scene though is pretty
boobage
funny.
on a scale of 1 to 10.
That scene though is pretty funny because at that point we were talking about this in the car. Like Hansel and Gretel have been separated since there was this attack on the town. Like Hansel gets pulled out into the forest and goes on a different adventure, and Gretel wakes up in this house where the fanboy is touching her boobs. And she immediately runs out into the forest and is looking for Hansel, trying to make sure he's okay and everything. Hansel wakes up in a tree. The pretty girl is down there. He drops out of the tree and he goes has sex with the pretty girl, like in the water. And
Hell
you're like,
yeah.
wait, Hansel, last time you saw your sister, she got blasted through a door and might be dead.
Well, let's also say that Gretel had some porridge in between, so
that's true. You're right. Yeah. She
didn't immediately
she fueled
go
up
look for him.
Yeah. And he knows she can take care of herself. He's like, yeah, she'll be okay. But it was just funny because at one point I realized, like, because he ends up showing up at that house, which is where they end up meeting back up. And I was like, why did you go to this house and not go looking for Gretel? Like, how did this happen? But didn't matter. It was just a here's where they meet back up. Here's another plot element.
Some of the plot, like mishaps, and like, well, why did they both just end up at the house? I don't even care because it was fun.
Yeah. No, exactly. They fall into a hole. They find some witch stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and then they shoot witches. It's great. It's
Pretty
better
good.
than Van Helsing, for sure.
I
kind of like Van Helsing.
You know, we've seen that the last couple of weeks. I think I'm going to watch it this week. I have not seen it in years.
If you watch it this week, you will probably be like, James, you're an idiot.
No,
and then I will probably rewatch it and go, I'm probably an idiot. But I kind of remember being like, that's fun. It's got Kate Beckinsale. I like Stephen Sommers. That's why. That's probably the only reason I like that movie.
Anyways.
Made me really love Gemma Arterton. I want to see her in more stuff because she is good.
She is. Thanks for stopping by, Dan. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Always welcome.
This was a fun thing.
Always welcome.
Is there anything we didn't touch on that you'd like to get off your chest?
No, I don't know. I don't really have like a blog or a website or anything.
Sorry. Director of Dead Snow, which is that zombie.
It's all right.
No, we've talked about it on the show. I'm surprised that's the guy who made this.
He's
movie.
a Norwegian director. I know that.
Oh, Norwegian making Hansel and Gretel movies. That's funny.
So you have nothing to pimp?
Nothing to pimp?
Sam's Club.
No.
Shop Sam's Club.
Let's not talk about it. I don't know. I if there's any website I'm at, it's just somethingawful.com. I'm a Something Awful forums member, but whatever.
Is there a fun website you like to go to that's not yours?
Google.com.
Google recommended.
Pictures of nude ladies.
Nice. Nice.
That's my favorite website.
It's Google.com.
.apx. It's a streaming video.
Oh, mercy.
All right.
So like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. Email us, realnerds@gmail.com. Tweet us, real_nerds. Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can stream us on Stitcher Radio. Make us your favorite radio station. Thanks for listening. Next week, we are seeing... What the fuck are we seeing next week? I always forget.
Kevin Smith and Bullet to the Brain.
Oh, yeah.
Bullet to the Head.
Bullet to the Head is... No, that's not next week.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So the show might be up a little later because we're seeing Kevin Smith on Friday night. So it might be like a day late if you're listening to this and you wait on pins and needles for our next episode.
But it's Bullet to the Brain, so you'll just be listening to hear us talk about stuff.
It's really make Monday your download day. Monday, it's probably... If you just wait for Monday, you're more likely to not be disappointed.
So Kevin Smith and Bullet to the Head.
Yeah.
Until next time, the Real Nerds wish you a very happy week. Whatever.
Go see movies.
Movies are great.
This is why we just have to start recording and then just let it go so that there's always just nonsense at the beginning.
I know, especially with James on the show because he loves just keep on talking so I can't start it.
Just a rolling start.
I do.
Yeah. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, officially the unofficial podcast at Denver Comic Con. Did you know that every ticket purchased helps educate children in socioeconomically challenged communities in Denver, Boulder, and other area schools by providing an accredited after-school program for students to learn to read through comic books? Just so you know that when you buy comic books, you son of a bitch.
Oh,
we did get 2 new reviews on iTunes this week.
Oh yeah.
No, people rated us. We got 1 star and 5 stars.
Wait, there was a 1 star?
Yeah, so we're 4.5 stars right now, boys.
Hey, 4.5 stars, pretty good.
That is really good.
That 1 star was probably from Kevin Burke, the fucking asshole.
Oh yeah, someone definitely hates us, and that's all your fault, James.
Yeah, thanks. I made us hate fans.
Get over yourself.
Seriously, man.
You fucking asshole. Not everybody has to subscribe to your fanboy delusions of the 100% tomato meter score.
I just don't want anyone to say anything bad about Batman. It's Bill Moseley. Bill Moseley wrote in his name as like fucking Kevin Burke.
It's actually funny that Ani Girl wrote how nice Bill Moseley was today, or a couple days ago on her little thing she does for
funny.
feature
I'm
films.
sure he is really nice. I don't not like Bill Moseley. I really don't. I just don't give a shit what he thinks about
me. He doesn't like you.
Yeah, because I was such a dick. Oh man. All right, let's try this again.
I know I would try, but he says a sentence and he keeps on adding like one more word. James does, so it's really hard to keep on talking. And I already did a great intro, but
I have to call
Brad
him.
thought he was like, funny joke from Ryan.
I thought it was hilarious.
Son of a bee.